All right, you
Okay.
guys are unmuted now.
All right. Hello, everybody. This is the Anime Bro here, and welcome to another Radio Trigger podcast episode. It's been a while, I know, but things happen. So we're finally here. And I am with my lovely host, as always, Tenza Shinra, and 20. Uh, you know what? Lion. Just
I,
Lion. I forget.
20 odd line. 20 odd line,
Well,
that's fine.
yeah, 20 Lion.
yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh.
And, and today we are doing a debate episode. So, however, this is going to go is that each of us will take turns being judges, two, while two of us try to persuade a point that we are trying to, why our side is better in a certain category. So, our first category is going to be basically who would win in a fight. And the judge will be Lion. So the category is who would win in the fight, and like I already said that. So Lion, I mean Tenza will be on the side of debating why Lelouch would be Napoleon. Now, because Lion doesn't know who Napoleon is, I will be the first to basically describe who Napoleon is. So, Lion, Napoleon was basically the guy who conquered Europe in the early
Okay.
1800s. So,
Yeah.
you've heard of the French Revolution?
Mm,
Well, after
sure.
that, well, after that happened, which was basically when they got rid of their king, he took their place and basically won every battle for the French that they had. In fact, it was so like he won every battle to the point where the only time they actually could win against Napoleon was if the whole world actually could,
United.
yeah, united and took him out, basically. So he was against England, he was against Russia, he was against Germany, he was against, I think, Turkey at the time. He was against Spain. He was against a lot of people. I'll just say that. And he was also a great politician. And that's just the introduction. I have my defenses for Napoleon. I'll just
Okay.
save them. And Tenza, I guess you give your introduction to Lelouch, since
Ye-
Lion has not seen Code
yes. Yeah. Okay. So basically, Lelouch is like well, he's you usually see a lot of comparisons to someone like Light, but he's not really like in the same kind of category of smarts. He's kind of just like smart in terms of like the battlefield and like war tactics and stuff like that. Whereas Lelouch is kind of, or Light is kind of just like dodging, you know what I'm saying, and like kind of using his brain to find ways to basically not get caught and stuff like that. But Lelouch is like on a whole nother level. He's kind of similar to Napoleon in what he described. It's kind of like he formed this entire army just based around this figure that's called Zero, which he stood in for pretty much. But Zero is more so less of a person now at the end of it all than like kind of just him. It's more like a concept of a person, if that makes any sense. And basically, Lelouch, he's like basically pioneers like a lot of stuff, and it's kind of crazy because it's kind of like where Anime Bro says that every the world would need to unite against Napoleon if they want to stand a chance to get him against him. Lelouch is kind of it's crazy in Code Geass because it's kind of a fact of, or a matter of, the whole world is already pretty much united, and he's just taking on like an empire called the Britannian Empire. That's basically like all the continents or most of them coming together, all the countries and stuff, and he's basically just he's basically just a leader, just trying to reach peace and stuff like that, and he's like extremely smart and everything. So yeah, I don't know if that's a good explanation.
I think it's pretty good.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So let's put in defenses, I guess, now.
Yeah.
Well, actually, what's your thoughts now? Just introduction alone. Like, what's your thoughts now?
Yeah.
I like like what? Like how are we doing this? Like
Like, in your opinion, who do you think would win? Like,
Yeah.
right,
in the fight?
just knowing, well, in terms of not like physical fight, because these guys honestly are not physically. Well, I don't know about Lelouch, maybe Napoleon, but
Yeah.
in terms of like who do you think would outsmart each other? I guess because these two are. Or just what's your thought? Which one do you think would be better? Just is better. At?
um. Okay. I'll probably lean more towards Lelouch, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I should do my best then.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess for defense for me, Napoleon was a good politician. In the chaos of the French Revolution, he actually made it possible to where a lot of people had their voices. Of course, there were some limitations, like only men could.
Yeah.
But you got to think at the time, that was a lot of stuff. So it's not as crazy as way back then. So there was some, and he was also, believe it or not, he was open to religion. Like he was okay. He wasn't. He was okay with like the Jewish faith. He was okay with the Christian faith. He was okay with everyone. Even though his methods were to make sure that no one killed each other, it was a progressive thing that he did, and it was also something. I should also point out, he started from nothing. Like he had no money, he had no connections whatsoever. So, the matter of fact that he's also like this, he's like this big general who was able to conquer not just his country but also most of Europe is just really impressive as well. And another thing, like I know I said like he fell when his whole country, when all the world kind of united to take him down. He actually did one mistake, which was try to take Russia, and the Russians basically just during the fight, the Russians moved like they just made him come to them, but because how big it was, he kind of used a lot of manpower to just take like just one city, and so he lost a lot of men there. So when the whole world united to stop Napoleon, it was after his big loss, after he lost a lot of men. So he was still holding up to the very end. And even now, like even now, some of his things that he put in place for France is used in other countries. So he was not only just a good battle general, he was a good politician too. Made some reforms that made the world a bit more better.
Right.
Okay. So, do you want me to attack that, or do you want me to get my my own?
Yeah.
You could yeah.
Okay. All right. So, my defense is that Lelouch is sorry, I was eating Pocky while you were explaining, but Lelouch is I think I lean more towards Lelouch just because he is not so much like Caesar. Or I said Caesar. What's his name? Napoleon. Yeah, my bad. I was thinking of something else, but yeah, he's not so much like Napoleon. Napoleon kind of wants to like establish, from what it seems like, kind of wants to establish his own like basically his own system and his own law and stuff like that. Whereas Lelouch, he doesn't mind what the law currently is. It's just that the corruption isn't really his like forte. He doesn't really like all the corruption that's happening. So that's why he creates the Black Knights and everything, and that's why he does what he does. And he's not really like you said, for example, it was mostly the men that had the free speech or whatever, or was it religion, something like that?
Yeah, it was religion, and also he is a complicated character because he is a dictator.
Yeah.
So he did rule with an iron fist, but the things he implied were way better off than what they were before he came into power. So
Mm. Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of like a thing of like Lelouch. He's fine with how the world is, like in terms of laws and everything like that. Well, except for anything that's like discriminatory, because as far as things go, the thing is that Britannia, it like kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It it discriminates basically against people that aren't a part of, the big like nation pretty much. So for example, Japan isn't a part of it, so people discriminate against the Japanese a lot. And basically what he wants to do is end discrimination like that, kind of. And the way that he goes about it is like he keeps himself concealed. And that's one thing that's also really cool about him, is like he's not putting himself out there. So at any time when they're trying to like find this guy and pinpoint him and try to like catch him, they're like they don't know who he is, so it's kind of hard to like catch him and anything like that. And so that's like really cool on in terms of like the strategy that he has for going about it. And also like he's not really, like I said, discriminatory, so he's not like making the world better for any specific type of people or anything. It's just overall he wants to make the world a better place. And also Lelouch is I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, there's a lot of good things. This is the worst type of episode for me because I have to remember so many things. But yeah, there's a lot of different good a lot of different good things about Lelouch. But I think for the most part, it's just how equal he is in what he's trying to do. He's not really trying to take over the world for his own good, or doesn't really see like his rule as like a better rule. And it's even depending on if you think like depending on your way of thinking, pretty much it also comes down to like how they ultimately reach their goals. Like Lelouch, he reached his goal at the end of Code Geass, because I don't want to get into spoilers, but that's like one of the best endings of all time. And the thing with Lelouch is that when that happens, it's like he's willing to sacrifice. And I think that wanting to sacrifice to have the world a certain way is like really, it has to have a lot of resolve. And from what Anime was saying, it doesn't seem like Napoleon is that type of person. It seems like he wants to like live through everything, and which I can understand, but it's more so like I want the world to be at peace at all costs kind of thing with Lelouch. Whereas with Napoleon, he's just it doesn't really seem like that. But yeah, those are my defenses for him.
Well, the thing about Napoleon, his real goal was to rule the world, and in fact, he actually completed his goal. He controlled Europe, which basically controlled. Well, the only country he couldn't get was England because it was on an island. And they had the best naval fleet, so there was no way he could have got England. But he was very powerful. His downfall was caused because he thought he was unstoppable, I guess. But so that, and which is why he kind of broke the one rule in European warfare, which is don't invade Russia because you're gonna lose no matter what. And that's what happened. He invaded Russia, and that's when his downfall started. But another thing is interesting was he could have came back again, but the problem. Well, okay, so another thing to point out was that his rule was so good that when people kicked him out and they replaced it with a monarchy, it went exactly as it was before Napoleon. And when he came back, people actually praised Napoleon. They were like, "Good job! Like we want you as our emperor again." Because it was way better. The system was way whack before Napoleon, and Napoleon changed that. And also the last war he fought, the whole countries were not against France, but against Napoleon himself. They were at war with Napoleon, and it was just like they in order to get rid of him, they actually had to send him to an island on the coast of Africa. That's how far they had to send him to get rid of him permanently. and even then they still had like armed men on him on the island, and even like two ships circling him to make sure he never left. So they were trying to make sure this guy never came back.
Mm. Okay.
And his and another thing is like his impact was so strong that it took a long time. Like it took a long time for Europe to, or I guess the other powers to get a hold of France after what Napoleon did, because another thing that also made Napoleon interesting was that he made it where instead of having connections to get to become better in the world, you had to actually have talent, because he saw that it was better to have talent than someone who just had noble blood.
Yeah.
Because if he had, like, say, like, even though some guy may have connections to all these great kings but is terrible at leading a war, he didn't want that guy to lead his war, because honestly he was terrible at it. He would rather have the poor guy who knew all this who's really good at calculating like the enemy and stuff. And another point is that a lot of people now would, like, a lot of generals do tactics that Napoleon did. Like, one thing he was famous for doing was living off the land, which is basically, in warfare you need to have like a supply train to feed your men.
Yeah.
And with living off the land, what that allowed you to do was you were able to move a lot quicker and just like stop enemies from going anywhere, because you won't have to worry about food and stuff, because they're just feeding themselves when they stop by.
Mm. Okay.
And he's well known in history, and not only just military but also in politics as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As far as the whole tactics thing goes, I want to say like, you bring up some things that make me think about what Lelouch has done, and it's like for example, I have something to compare with when you said they had him like on an island, like surrounded by whatever, like. I don't think Lelouch was placed under that much like security ever, like, because they did catch him at one point, but when they did, I feel like it was more like crazy in his case, because they completely erased his memory, and basically he was living this life that he had this fake brother, and that's another thing. It speaks towards like his charisma, because with that fake brother that the fake brother that he had was basically a guard, like watching over him in case he ever did get his memory back, and eventually his brother finds out and everything, but Luce somehow finds a way to convince him to be a part of his crew or whatever, and basically be on his side. So that's one thing, like he has really good charisma to just like convince people. And also, it's a really crazy like thing that after he completely had his memory taken away, he still somehow came back, and even like the black knights and everybody were waiting for him, like for Zero to make a return. So I really like that about him. And as far as like his tactics go, I like how he's like really calculating and everything. Like for like he takes risks when he needs to. Like for example, when he had to risk like a lot of his men in like that boat incident or whatever, but it was more of a thing of like it's the greater good and stuff like that. Like it's one or the other. But he has like a lot of good like I don't know how to describe it. Basically, high IQ moments where he has to come up with all these plans, and I really like the plans that he comes up with in the different situations that he's placed in to basically get around it.
Well, I guess
I mean, Lucius powers, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. He also has the Gias.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, his powers has limits. He can
does.
mind control one person one time.
Yeah.
If he mind controls Napoleon yourself.
Well, it's also
Yeah.
willpower. Like there is a lot of things. Like for example, if you have a strong enough will, you could break through it too. So
We
and
we've only ever seen that like once or twice. That's rarely
well, yeah,
happened.
but still, there's a flaw. That's a flaw. And Napoleon was, he was like very, he's very
I'm
stubborn.
I
Like
mean
he was, like I said, he was a dictator. He had no, he trust. He literally used no, he used force to get what he wanted, and
ex-
he was not swayed by
e-
anything.
exactly.
What year?
It's the fact that he uses force because like the fact that when you said him yourself that he raided Russia and he was too stubborn to realize that yeah you can't win against Russia. So how would he win against the Gias? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I feel like it's a thing of like also like it's one thing if you're like stubborn or whatever and you can like overcome it with like a strong will, but I don't think that like Napoleon, I feel like a strong will also ties into like common sense, and if he couldn't like know to not raid Russia, it's like how do you even get over the Gias if he decides to go through with that?
Well, I mean, it wasn't impossible. Russia had been invaded by Mongols. It's just he didn't. It's just it was another thing of like he was old when he invaded Russia.
Mm.
And,
Okay.
well, he was actually pretty young when he did all this stuff. Like he was 30 when he conquered Europe. So, um,
Mm.
yeah,
I
he was
can't
pretty young. I
can't
think he was like 40 something when he invaded Russia, and at that time he was just very like his mind wasn't in the right place. He wasn't even thinking
Mm.
strategically.
yeah.
It
What year?
wasn't prime. It wasn't prime Napoleon when he invaded Europe. It was more
What?
like
Okay.
What year is Napoleon was what, like the 60s, 70s, or what was that?
it was
Like
18.
16.
It was 18. Like night 12, 20. So like before trains. I
Code
guess
What year?
yeah.
What year is just sitting?
Yeah, Code Geass takes place in like 2018, but the thing is when it came out, it was uh like before 2018, so it technically took place in the future, like quote unquote, but yeah.
Oh, and
well, well,
there's more
well,
advanced technology.
well, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But
And
think of it this way: Napoleon was doing with what he had. So like
oh yeah, true.
so I guess I guess
But
okay, forget who would win. Put in the like who do you think was better in terms of a character? Napoleon or
Yeah. Oh, I
let's
don't
do
know
that.
either of them.
yeah. I mean,
Okay,
when you take what we said, like Napoleon was doing what he was doing, he wanted to become the king of the world just because he wanted to rule, and then Lelouch wanted world peace, pretty much. Which between those two, which do you like more? Like those are their
Um,
characters.
that sense, then Lelouch.
Yeah, good decision. Oh, well, you probably wouldn't agree since you're arguing against me, anime bro. But would you say
well,
it's a sound conclusion?
well, another thing I should point out in Code Geass,
Okay.
Lelouch lost a lot.
Hmm.
This is about
In
who's the
fact,
better
the only
character.
big
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you did just say that.
yeah, I just said
Yeah.
that. Now I think okay. In terms of a character, I would say
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
know. I'm trying to defend my point, and
I got you in the
Mhm.
corner, bro. I'm sorry.
okay, I just want to say, as a person, Napoleon kind of made the modern world where we don't have rulers or we don't have peasants because well, we don't have like poor people because of the
Whoa,
government
whoa, whoa.
says we can. Well, I
Hmm.
mean, in a sense of like because when Napoleon was around,
Mm-hmm.
what the mindset at the time was if you were born poor, that's where you're going to be. You're
Yeah.
going to be poor and all that stuff. When Napoleon came around, it it put in the mindset of you can't just say what the government or what people are saying. If you want to do this, you could do this. And his main thing that he put it was, I think the one thing I want to say is like Napoleon impacted the world a lot, and even though Lelouch did affect start world peace, the one thing that I want to say is like world peace doesn't last that long. There's someone that's gonna startle that up, even if you literally united the world under one enemy. Because
Yeah.
technically speaking, that is what Napoleon was, the one enemy that the whole world hated.
Mm.
But even after a while, world peace didn't last because, after Napoleon Wars, we got World War One, World War Two,
Yeah.
and some Cold War. So it's just to say that his impact, it changed like how people saw themselves. Like it changed that the government doesn't have to tell you what you are. You could be who you want to be, and it's just his impact was very important to the world. It
Yeah.
changed a lot of things.
I just want to I just want to say, I didn't have the chat on this whole time, so I didn't see. But Otaku came through. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's how it came through.
I didn't know if you guys noticed. I'm surprised you didn't say what's up. But
No, I didn't say anything. I don't have it open.
yeah,
But anyways, I lost. Tenza, good job.
But it's difficult to
Yep.
say which is better, a real life person or an anime character.
yeah, that's true. Cause anime has like a lot of extra stuff like that you have to consider. Like most people aren't as like, and it's like comparing two different people, two different types of realities. Like one is Lelouch, he's anime and he's in the future. One is Caesar, or I keep saying Caesar. One is Napoleon. He's in the actual world, the real world, and it's in the past. So it's like it's kind of
Well,
hard to compare those two.
I think it's actually not, because when we were talking about it, we were like talking how similar they were. They had ambitions. They conquered the world literally, and actually, like, I think the only difference is the characters themselves. Lelouch was always royalty,
Mm,
while Napoleon was literally nothing or close to nothing.
yeah,
I guess not nothing. He was more like us, just the everyday person.
yeah,
He had some connections, but it was not enough for him to become an emperor or a dictator. He had to actually push it through to do that.
mm.
And
Yeah, that's true. I will agree with that because they were both like at the end of the day they both became like the top, basically at the top, and then it's just a difference of what they wanted to do with that position. So like Lelouch, he wanted peace, so he did what he did and he had the plan, but I keep almost saying Caesar.
Napoleon,
Napoleon.
yes.
Napoleon, he just wanted, the power and everything, so he just did what he wanted. But yeah, it's just a difference of like what their mindsets were and everything, but they are pretty similar in terms of like how they go about it.
So
Yeah.
that was the only one that's like this. Next ones are just like so. So Tenza got the first point. Good job, Tenza.
Nice,
And
nice.
now you will be judging. So Lion, our point is Aaron doing the right thing?
Oh, this
That's
one's gonna
basic.
be good. This is gonna be good.
So
You're gonna
because
have to
I went
explain
first,
it again.
so well Tenza's judging. So
Yeah.
Aaron from Attack on Titan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so do you think Eren is doing the right thing by massacring all of their enemies?
Yeah. Oh, and I just want to bring up why uh you said you were going to be on the side of he is, right, Anime Bro?
No, I
Cuz
said he was doing the wrong thing.
oh, oh, okay. I thought you said you were going to be on the right cuz I remember we were talking about it when we were planning and you were like,
No,
yeah,
because I
like
had a good defense for it, and I don't know, Lion. What is your? I might have to do the right thing because I can try my
Uh,
y-
best.
Oh, I remember what it was, because
Mm.
you were thinking logically, anime bro, and you were like, oh well, logically it does make sense, but like at the same time, it's the reason we came up, and it was like Lion is probably gonna say, yeah, he's doing the wrong thing, is because it's a morality thing. Because when we were talking
Yeah.
about The Last of Us, remember, he was like, oh yeah, Ellie, he wouldn't like
Yeah. So
yeah.
our thing was based on the law. So is Aaron doing the right thing by killing people? So let's put it in the Last of Us situation. If Aaron is doing the right thing, then it's like saving Ellie. But if he's doing the wrong thing, it's like how I would say, let her die.
Yeah, for the greater good.
Yeah, so why is he killing everyone? To save paradise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, his thing was to save the island, or to basically because everyone was sending a Titans on his island. He's just doing this for revenge, protect everyone.
Right. I think it's wrong.
Okay, then I guess I'll define it.
Yeah.
Okay, so why do you think it's wrong? Give your point.
Okay, well, you said it's because of revenge, right?
It's
Uh,
it's 50% for revenge, and the other 50 is like because they can't live in peace because everybody is scared of them, and at any moment, they could just say, "Oh yeah, we don't want you guys on the map anymore," and just raid them. Yeah.
gee.
It's,
Oh, I
it,
mean, it's yeah.
it's like a complicated issue,
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going into it. It's not purely revenge. It's more of like
Um,
safety and
mm.
Yeah.
The thing is, he's killing, literally everybody that's not on the other side of not from paradise, but other people. He's killing everybody there, so that's the kids as well.
Yeah.
yeah.
So to me, that's like because we have nothing to what's going
Mhm.
on.
Yeah.
Well, you also got to think of like Aaron's side. He's seen people get eaten by Titans, and he's even seen people who were on the other side, who also, um, who literally attacked with their Titans as well. So it wasn't just, they didn't know what was
Mhm.
going on. It was like there was a group that was going on, and some people had no uh, and did nothing to stop it. They just allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
Thing is, they never had problem with each other, right? Not really. I can't remember what the other people are called outside of paradise, but they never had problems with each other.
Yeah.
So I started now.
Well, because Aaron finally had a solution, become a
That's not
Titan.
right.
Well, it's the only one. It's like, okay, I'm gonna put history into this. I will do this only until I am judging, because that's. But in World War II, the only way to stop Japan wasn't because. So they used the nuke to stop Japan, not because it was a way to. Because it was. Well, not because they couldn't just attack the islands constantly. They could have. It was the only way to show Japan that they lost, that we have power that you can't match. We have nukes, which when they were first launched on uh, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they were devastating. It took two nukes to destroy two cities. So, and that's the thing with like Aaron's and stuff. He's literally having nukes going in and just obliterating. Like before, they didn't have the manpower to take these countries on, but now that they do with Aaron and his giant colossal titan things. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Or probably, unless Otaku has actually watched this, then not really. But
Yeah.
he's now has a weapon to actually go against the people that basically terrorized his family, his life, and he's taking
His
his revenge.
his family.
Yeah, his family was his mother was eaten,
Yeah, which
and
I mean, it's,
also his dad was kicked out of his country too. So you got that too.
yeah, but it's not like it was really their fault though.
He well, it's also the fact that no one did nothing, and also it wasn't that better in the country that we saw. They still discriminate. It was like Nazi Germany, actually. This is another World War II. It was literally Nazi Germany. They discriminated because of race. They didn't care of like talent or anything. They discriminated because that's who they were. So
Ah,
Yeah.
ah, yeah. This is a
Yeah.
this is
Yeah. As so far as the judge, I just want to say like both of these sides are like really convincing because it's like there's really no wrong in this. Like it's like there's no wrong in war because both sides are fighting for their own things. But I feel like as far as like the other islands that are scared of Paradise goes, they're like they're just scared for nothing pretty much, and they're not really bothering anybody. So it does kind of suck in that like in that sense, and I can see why Aaron wants to do what he wants to do, but at the same time, I understand Lion's point. Like there are children, there are people that were never involved in this before, and if he goes through with this, then like it's just gonna be innocent people dying for no reason, and I feel like if that's gonna happen, I don't know, man. I feel like it's probably better to try to find a different solution because yeah, they keep sending Titans and everything, just to attack just to attack Paradis or whatever. But I feel like now that they have some level of understanding between like the people, anyways, they understand. Yeah, they didn't do anything. They're not devils or anything. I feel like they can build some type of relationship, but that's kind of gonna be broken if Aaron goes through with his plan. So it's a really hard thing. Like I can't really um decide, but I guess like just in terms of like the greater amount of people dying, like I don't think that I can go through with what Aaron's going through, especially when you think that like after like who there's probably another way they can go about this. I'm pretty sure there's multiple ways they can try to convince them that they're not like these crazy people with these powers that can just destroy the world and that they're gonna do anything because yeah, but I don't know. I think I'm leaning right now a little more towards Lion side, just because more people die if Aaron goes through with this plan, and he has a way to like he has other
okay,
ways
I just want to
probably.
say, if you have a problem with this, then what the heck was my problem with Last of Us?
Last of Us,
I gave the exact same situation, and you guys acted as if it was like the worst
that's
thing I ever
different.
said. That's not different. It's the same
That's
thing.
different.
Aaron's protecting his family, just
No,
like
no, no, no.
just like the main
yeah,
guy was protecting Ellie.
That's when
yeah,
is Eren is killed. Oh,
yeah.
And you're saying that guy didn't kill?
no, it's not killing.
He ki-
Oh, so he knocked out those guards that he had to kill.
he killed the people that were trying to kill her. He wasn't like he did that in defense, whereas Aaron is like
It was not defense. Okay,
it.
he went in and acted and stuff. I know this is a off top, but honestly, it's situational. I know I was supposed to be the one doing saying what it was wrong. Okay, and Lion, I gave out good points. The people he is attacking is literally Nazi Germany, discriminating against it because of race, not because of talent or because of like what they did, because of what they were born to do. That literally is
Mm,
bad news.
that's true. That's true. Is there like, I don't know how court works. Can you ever like tie in court? Like,
No,
is,
it's either the guy
jeez.
is guilty or innocent, or once There's no.
It's like draw. That guy killed your mother. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You guys, I can't
yeah.
decide.
You have to, dude.
Jeez. Oh man, that's rough because that like it's like there's no wrong. Like I guess like the people going against Aaron are more morally wrong just because like they're discriminating. Well, they
Okay,
were
I'm gonna
wrong.
point
They were
this
wrong
out. You were the one
first,
who wanted to be the judge for this, so you can't be complaining. Okay, so you
bro.
choose now.
I only said this because I knew that it was gonna be a good one between you two because it's always like a morality thing that you guys are arguing on. But I don't. I'm just saying like there's no wrong in this whole thing. But if I were to like, they were. I feel like it's kind of a thing of like a cycle of like a kind of a cycle of hatred, kind of like in Naruto. That's that's one of the good things that come out of Naruto, the cycle of hatred, and I feel like with that, I feel like Pain really did a good job at like saying, oh yeah, you people, your people do bad to my people, so my people are gonna do bad, and basically what Pain wants is to like basically unite or not unite, but give everybody equal power so that they can, it's less of a thing of, you know, uh, unequal power and yeah, we're just gonna come here and raid your village and fight and leave it a mess and everything like that. But I don't know. It's kind of like it's rough. It's a hard thing because it's like there's no right or wrong here. Like with Lions is way easier, like the one that he had to judge because it's just a thing of who do you think is a better character or more strategic. But with mine, it's just like, oh, both of these guys have valid points. Who do you think is right? And it's like, well, I don't know, because like less people die if Lelouch doesn't do what he's doing, but or not Lelouch, if Aaron doesn't do what he's
Aaron.
doing, but more people die if he does. But they weren't the ones that started it, but at the same time, like it doesn't make it right. I don't know, man. Uh, let me think. All right, let me try to ask you guys a question to try to get my my
Okay.
standing. All right. So, okay, okay, anime bro. What do you say that like him killing everybody like I don't know what I'm trying to say. hmm. Okay, would you say that him like killing everybody is like would you like justify that in a sense of like um geez, I don't know what I'm trying to say. And now my
Okay.
phone is ringing. But yeah, would would you justify basically what he's doing after he does it? Like after he like does the rumbling and say he kills everybody, would you just be like, "Oh yeah, it's, it is what it is. It had to be done." Like would you just, shrug it off the shoulder if that happened?
Well, in terms of because this is my side, and I originally was gonna say that he was wrong, and I had a whole bunch of reasons behind it, but I can also play this. This is pretty fun. It tends to suffering really hard, so
Yeah.
this is enjoyment for me.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I'll say this. It is like even though he is killing people, in war that's what happens. And like I said, they didn't start it first. The country itself was a fascist one, where the point where kids were taught to be racists, and that's not a good thing. If your kid is taught, hey, don't play with this kid
True.
because he looks totally different or is totally not from our like country, it's very terrible. But also in a matter of sense of like, so World War II, I'm gonna bring this up again because there's a lot of similarities, fascist Nazi Germany, and all that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put it with the nuke. People, citizens died when the nuke was launched, but it ended the conflict, and that killed innocents. Those weren't soldiers. Well, some of them were soldiers.
Hmm.
I don't know the layout or the population was, but it was innocents that died
Okay.
because of the
Yeah.
the war. And to put in perspective, this is a war that's been going on for a long time. This wasn't something that just started a couple of years ago. This was a war that had constantly been going for like centuries, even
Mm.
in this series. So this wasn't something that just showed up. They've been constantly going to war, and eventually are just so. In justification, it is in a way he is doing the right thing, and also another thing, free land. Nobody's conquering there, so you got free land there too.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Lion, and I'm gonna come back to you for two questions, and then I think I'm gonna be able to make my decision. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So in the same way that I kind of asked Anime Bro, if the bad part of his situation is if he's okay with the bad part of his, are you okay with like okay, him not going through with the rumbling, but are you okay with them just sitting there and basically taking, basically staying there isolated for the rest of their lives? Basically, all the other countries scared of them and could like have the power to just, trample all over them at any time. Are you fine with that? Like, and them just staying in their corner and not really being able to do anything about it?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. Because
Okay.
that's what it is here.
Mm.
If one country decides, oh, let's use all our nukes, it's over.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't do anything about it because there's no point.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So back to anime, bro. So do you think that if we didn't do that, we'd still be in war with those people in the World War II instance?
Yeah, because um, Japan is a stubborn country. Like they had to do that because it scared them. We could have constantly we could have continued the war maybe like 10, maybe 2 more years, honestly,
Mm.
because of how stubborn Japan was on their hold. And even Russia joined in, probably wouldn't have done nothing because they actually lost to Japan before, so they wouldn't have done anything to it. So when the nukes were launched, it basically showed to Japan that America has a force that can literally obliterate cities in just like 10 bombs.
Mm.
So like if they mass produced this and had like 40 nukes, that's Japan off the map.
Yeah.
Not just like half of it, all of Japan is gone
Yeah.
basically. So the nukes ended the war there, because if the nukes didn't happen, honestly they would have continued fighting maybe for another couple of years until Japan was either captured or until they had a maybe like a revolution or something like that.
Okay. So okay, I think I've made my decision then. I'm going to go. I'm going to go with. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with anime, bro, but not completely. Not completely, because I think that a more smarter way to for Aaron to go about it. For number one, I don't think that it's the right thing to do. I don't think anybody would agree that that's a good thing to do because many people lose their lives. But I think there's a better way he could have gone about it. I think that like if he would have done it in the same way that the U.S. did it in World War II, like if he just used if he used the rumbling on part of like the world or just a city or two, you know what I'm saying, then maybe that'd be able to get the point across that yeah, we have the power, and we can still develop our own technology to make the Titans even stronger. We can like give them armor or something like that so they can like overcome the anti-Titan cannons or whatever and all that extra stuff. I don't think that it's probably the best idea to take out the entire world like Aaron was gonna do, but I do think like making basically a power statement and saying yeah, we have power, we can defend ourselves is important to do, and in that sense, it's I feel like Anime Bro is closer to that than it is just sitting there not doing anything about it. But that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm glad I won, but the highlight of this was Tenza asking, Is there a tie in court?
Is there tech,
You just
bro?
gave up.
I can't, bro. This is too. The next time we do this, we have to do this another time. I'm gonna give you guys hard ones. I'm gonna give you ones that aren't. There's no right or wrong to. It's just you gotta decide. You gotta pick a side.
That would be yeah. Next debate, we definitely need to have something like that because that was interesting. I actually like Lion had good points. I had some good points, and then Tenza was
Yeah.
the loser. Honestly, let's put it: loser was Tenza.
No, like,
Like
yeah,
Lion made
literally,
the point. The loser was Tenza.
literally, bro. Yeah, I'm the loser, man. I just want to say that in real life, or not even just in real life, but like in Attack on Titan, I still don't think that if I was there and I had control over Aaron's actions, I wouldn't say, yeah, just go and do it. I think I would still be like, yeah, nah, you shouldn't do this just because, like, I'm not really with the thought of killing a lot of people. But if you think about it in the sense of like for the country, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the basically the people at the top would make that decision, and that would be how it goes. Like, I'm thinking of this from a literal like civilization standpoint. Like, I don't think that
Yeah.
like the bosses would just let that happen. But yeah.
Got your brain thinking.
Yeah.
This is how I think now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look back on this and remember the time I struggled with this debate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But
then,
honestly, Tenza, it's not gonna get any better for you for the next one.
bro, oh my gosh, yeah, true.
Okay, so the next one, I am the judge, and so line because we know you think Chainsaw Man is meh.
Yeah.
You will be defending Bleach, and Tenza will be defending Chainsaw Man.
Jeez.
So tell me, which one is the better show? Is Chainsaw Man better than Bleach, or is Bleach better than Chainsaw Man?
Goodness. Well, you can go first, Lion. I'm just gonna die here, so I know you're gonna win.
Oh no, but defend Bleach was much better. Okay,
Yeah.
it has a better main character. There's better girls. Ichigo has a better story, better motivation.
Mm.
Ichigo has better sort of development. There's better world building. Honestly.
Mm.
Jesus.
Bro.
Better fights.
Yeah.
Let's see, bro, what is there more?
Yeah,
Better-
that's a weak point. I might choose Chainsaw Man.
Oh my gosh.
We'll see if Tenchi can defend it.
All right, bro. I have one. Bro, this is so dumb. I have one very good. This is like the one good point that I have for Chainsaw Man, and if this doesn't get anime, bro, then nothing will. But like, Chainsaw Man, I will say. Oh my gosh, this is so stupid. And even this is like more subjective than anything. But Chainsaw Man, at least, it doesn't have like it's not good at any of like more better than any of those than Bleach, right? But Chainsaw Man, at least it's early on and it's really good. And I would argue that more people would say that the beginning of Chainsaw Man is better than the beginning of Bleach. So I will say that I think that if Chainsaw Man maybe continues as strong as it is, then it can become as good as Bleach. But even if you compare the start of Bleach to the start of Chainsaw Man, a lot of people would say that the start of Chainsaw Man is better. But as also jeez, I don't have any points aside from that.
So
Yeah.
you said the start of Chainsaw Man up until
Probably up until like well, if we're going by like manga or where we think season 1 is gonna end, probably up until like the second fight with Katana and Denji. So right up to there. Yeah.
Okay, let me have some fun with this.
Alright.
With this. Okay. So, Lion, when you watching Bleach, what is something that you really enjoyed about it? Like, what's a moment that really resonates with you? Because I've watched and read both of these, so.
Yeah.
in the entire Bleach story.
Okay, can you pick a moment? I said moment.
I said Yeah, I asked a question in the entire film or a specific arc.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Just entire story. Just entire story. Like, what was the moment that stuck out to you? This is a really cool moment for me.
Uh, Bro, there's a lot. The Yamamoto fight versus Yabak. None of us can touch fight. Obviously, the Ichigo versus Yabak towards the end. That's where fights were good. Yora versus Ichigo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man, it is story-wise, it is story of Chainsaw Man. There
Yeah.
isn't really a story to Chainsaw.
Yeah.
It's just I want to touch boobs.
Well, it's anime in general, you know.
Yeah. I will.
Not Bleach.
Yeah. I will say, like, as far as like the goal and the story, like I feel like those two, you can separate those, because yeah, the goal is like the end game, the end goal of the entire like story, but I feel like it's still separate from the story. I feel like Chainsaw Man, that is a pretty good point. Chainsaw Man, even though like the end goal, it's really dumb. It's just he wants to touch boobs, right? You're probably gonna see the last episode, and he finally gets to feel boobs, and it's like, oh yeah, we did it. But I feel like along the way, it's probably like all the things that we learn, like about the different types of devils and the fiends and everything. Like it's just the side things, pretty much the things that basically build onto the lore of Chainsaw Man. I think those are good. The story itself, I don't know, not really, because it's just, yeah, we gotta take this devil down, and then he wants to fill boobs and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like, yeah, it's just like, as far as like this just the lore of the universe goes, like there's still a lot we don't know about the actual universe and stuff. So yeah, I'd say it's decent. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's like I want to just to compare it a little bit. It's like, yeah, the end game of Bleach. Ichigo and his friends and family live all happy ever after. They're fine, protected by Ichigo and stuff like that. But in the actual story, there's all this stuff about hollows and soul reapers and quincy's and stuff like that. That's kind of what I mean in terms of Chainsaw Man. There's a lot we don't know and stuff, and we're still
Yeah.
getting more.
Alright.
Yeah. So my next question goes to Tens. What is the worst waifu in Bleach?
Ah, jeez, bro. Why would you make me do this? The worst waifu. I mean, I think this is something that most people universally agree with. Actually, let me think about that. In terms of just like, in terms of what, like, just overall waifu.
Overall,
Okay.
like your 100% opinion, the Bleach simp said
Oh my
that
gosh.
this is the worst waifu.
Okay. Let me think. The worst waifu is probably. I wouldn't say she's even like, she's not that bad in terms of like the wife aspect, but in terms of like the character aspect,
Don't offend yourself. Answer the question.
I know. Okay, listen. It's you know Momo, who was Aizen's lieutenant or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that the one he stabbed. I think, yeah, she's probably the worst, just because like she gets stabbed twice, and then like it's basically like a thing of like, oh, like she really likes Aizen, and then so she basically refuses to believe at the beginning and stuff like that, and that's I really don't like that about her. I will say that, like, she was willing to basically turn against her childhood friend when he was basically accusing Aizen and stuff like that. She turned her sword on him, and I don't know. On top of that, she's not really strong. She can't fight. I mean, like, who knows? She could probably cook, but that's why I say, in terms of like her actual character, in terms of like her actual character, she doesn't really. She's like a Naruto. She's like a Naruto waifu, but in terms of like, I guess actual like waifu aspects like likability and stuff. I guess you can make an argument for her, but she doesn't even really have that much screen time. So yeah, that's probably the worst one in Bleach that I can think of.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, okay, so that was Tenza's question. Okay, I'm gonna go ask some more questions. Okay,
Yeah.
Lion, why is the Chainsaw Man MC? Why do you think Ichigo is better than Denji?
Denji,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Denji, yeah.
Okay. Why Ichigo is better? Okay. Ichigo doesn't really have any goals, right? He doesn't really have any, which makes it more relatable because there's a lot of people that don't have goals, don't have any dream, just going day by day, right?
Yeah.
And comparing Denji, for example, he obviously, as we established, the main goal is just to touch boobs. That's the main goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's come on, let's be real. That is who has that goal?
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just feels like. And the thing is, he does a goal in what episode 2 or 3,
Yeah.
and then it kind of just moves on, or you didn't expect it to be that.
Yeah.
Thought it would change when it eventually got his goal. So it's kind of like, well, that was his goal. That was over within a few episodes. Now his next goal is to kill the Gun Devil so that he can only wish from Makima, and which that can get it accomplished. But it's kind of like he has now 2 goals that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice, Lion. Very good. Very good. Very good. Tenza, why is Denji better than Ichigo?
Oh my gosh. He's not. Oh my gosh. But okay. Denji, I guess oh my gosh, wow. There's really geez. Okay. Denji, I guess the fact that like he I guess it's the fact that bro, I can't think of anything. It's the fact that there's one thing I will say. It's the fact that he needs very little to be happy, and that's basically Ichigo. Doesn't really need much to be happy, but in the sense that like Denji was like broke and poor, and he just wanted to be able to eat toast at some point. You know what I'm saying, with jelly on it. It's like he really just wanted the simple stuff, and boobs is just one part of it, and any wish from Makima as well. But it's like, I feel like as a character, he's kind of cool. Like I like how, like I said, he doesn't really need much to be happy when he gets his goals. It's like, I feel like sometimes it's kind of whatever, and he just moves on. But other times, like when he finally got to eat a regular meal for the first time, he was like really happy about that and stuff. So I think it's just a matter of how the goal happens. Because if you remember the reason why he got to feel power, and he was just like, it's whatever, because he didn't really care about power, and he actually liked Makima. And when she when she gave him a feel, he was like going crazy and stuff like that. But I don't know, I feel like it just depends on his like basically his mindset in the whole thing. Like when he fulfills his goals, like he didn't have anything, which is why he was so happy when he finally got to have regular meals and live in a home and stuff like that. And he didn't really have anybody he cared about, which is why when he felt Makima, he was going all crazy because he actually liked her and stuff like that. I guess like in the sense that it's kind of development for him that he doesn't need much to be happy, because Ichigo doesn't need much to be happy, just in the sense that he lives with his family, and he's fine and everything, and he's well off with money, and stuff like that. And as long as his friends are safe, that's all that really matters to him. But with Denji, it seems like more of an accomplishment than anything, just because, he was at rock bottom, so the fact that he, sees living normally and everything as like a good thing, or just doesn't need much to be happy, is like, it's more development based than like Ichigo, who already just has what he needs to live regularly, just needs power to protect his friends and stuff. So I guess that's why I would say he's a quote unquote better character than Ichigo. Oh my gosh.
If Aizen was here, he would definitely at you.
Yeah, he would kill me.
Yes, he would. He would.
You heard it here first. Number one Bleach stan thinks Denji is a better character than Ichigo.
Yep, you heard it here first. I'm kind of torn. Like, do I want to...
Touching boobs is better than protecting your friends. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Should I give it to Lion and have Tenza lose, or should I just give it to Tenza and have Bleach?
I would say give it to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I managed to like make arguments out of nothing. Like this guy Denji and Chainsaw Man. It's just, that takes skill. That takes skill.
Tenza now. I was just playing with. Honestly, you guys probably knew I was just messing with Tenza this whole time.
Oh my goodness, bro!
Like matter of fact that he actually answered why Denji was better than Ichigo shows an accomplishment to it.
Yeah,
he dragged it out of his ass.
Yeah,
he literally did. Yeah, he had to literally come up with something, and it was actually pretty interesting and actually swayed me. So I'm sorry, Lion.
Wow.
So the winner of the final.
Oh my gosh.
Chainsaw Man versus Bleach goes to Tenza.
Nice.
Now is, and I better see a tweet on this.
Right.
Chainsaw Man.
Oh my gosh.
Then Bleach.
No, now that I won the debate, I just want to get it out of my system. Denji is a terrible character, nowhere near as good as Ichigo. No, like Ichigo has way more development. I just have to get all this out of my system. Better world building. There's like 3 different worlds: Hueco Mundo, what is it called? Soul Society, World of the Living, and then like the pocket dimensions and everything. I just have to get that out of my system. I don't actually think that, but the fact that I was able to come up with an argument, I respect that about myself.
Bleach is the best isekai.
Yeah, literally best isekai. That too. He goes to different worlds, so that counts as an isekai.
Yes, but forever in Radio Trigger history, we would us in the Radio Trigger archives, we have agreed that Chainsaw Man is better than Bleach.
There you have it, people.
Just made history, boys. You just made history.
There you have it.
I don't believe it.
Oh man, we gotta change that episode name from Chainsaw Man is mid to Chainsaw Man is better than Bleach. Big fiction.
Yep, that's a perfect title. And
yep.
I guess we'll end it here. There was really Tenza may have won, but honestly, he was the ultimate loser here.
Yeah, ultimately. Yeah, Chainsaw Man is never touching Bleach. Sorry, that's just the truth.
But yeah. Sorry you didn't get any points, Lion. But honestly,
I mean,
people never answer.
I mean, honestly, like, if 2 things I want to say. If people were here, I'd definitely see people saying Bleach is better. But the second thing is, I feel like Lion won that in the grand scheme of things because he didn't have to pull arguments out of his ass. So yeah, I literally just said made the most simplest of things complex. I was like, yeah, Denji, wanting to live simple is development because.
Wait, let me tell you something. Pulling out of someone's butt. That was me for the second one.
The second one. Oh my gosh, true.
I was totally against Darren. I was like, there was a better way, but because Lion said he was against it, I was like, all right, you gotta pull something. And I did. I actually did that, and I made it sound so professional too. So I let's put it this way: I won.
Yeah,
I won.
honest- Bro, honestly, Lion won this whole thing just because he had like the better of the art. Well, no, it depends on how you look at it because like he literally had the best arguments, and we had to fight for our lives.
He had to check the second one. He had to choose. He got to choose, and then the third one, he
Yeah.
didn't have to try much. He didn't have to try much.
Yeah, literally, because if you think about it, right, no person with empathy is gonna say, "Yeah, Aaron should just kill everybody," and at the same time, no sane person is just gonna say Bleach is worse than Chainsaw Man. So he had the better arguments both times. It's just the fact that we were able to come up with something that makes it an
Yeah.
accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So well done, Lion. You played us all. And what was funny was he wasn't even the one planning this. So he didn't know what we were doing.
Literally, we just gave everything to him. Oh man.
So good job. You made a fool out of all of us.
Yep.
I guess so.
Yeah. Well, I'd say there's no losers here since it's a pretty good accomplishment we all made here today.
Yeah. We made valid arguments.
Yep.
We made valid arguments, and Lion was here.
Yeah, Lion had the best. Lion didn't have to work at all because he had the best, the best science.
He had the best options.
Yeah, he didn't have to exert any effort. Just Bleach is better than Bleach is just better, and nobody would just kill an entire place. So there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And let's end the episode now. Thank you so much for enjoying this episode with us. I know that we will definitely we have nobody here live, but anyone who's watching this later on, I just want to say that we will try better. When we plan another debate episode, we will probably have all of us so that we can have some arguments prepared and also try and make this a professional thing and not just like, what do I say?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Next time, we should. For the next time, we should have like you know how they have I don't know court terminology. You know how they have the person that comes up to the stand, and
witnesses.
Yeah, witnesses. Yeah, we can have like people like guests, like just a couple of guests come, and they can be our witnesses for whoever's debating.
That'll be a lot of people. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean we could have some of Quantum, you know.
Yeah, we can have some of Quantum.
Yeah.
Which no one knows.
Yeah. Well,
which no one knows yet.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Quantum is it's I'm not gonna say the actual thing. It's a code name for people that
hentai.
For hentai. Yeah, for hentai. We're making a hentai.
Yeah, you know what? Ryan, when's the first episode gonna be out? Just let me. When do you think you'll have it ready?
The Quantum episode, well, Friday.
Okay, so because this is already out, we'll just promote it now.
Yeah.
So
this is probably the best time. Yeah.
Recently, me, Tenza, and Lion have come up with a group together. It is called Quantum. It has many of the guests that we've had on Radio Trigger. And we are going to release our very first episode. Sadly, Tensa's not in it, so
yep.
All of them are.
Yeah. But hopefully in the next one, I don't know if we were recording that one. I don't know. So hopefully in the next one you get to see Tenza will make his appearance.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll watch JoJo's. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see about that at some point. Definitely.
If anyone's watching to the very end, spam JoJo memes
oh my
to
God.
Tenza.
Yeah, just at me on Twitter. Just
spam JoJo memes. That's what I'm gonna do every day
oh my
from
gosh.
now on. I didn't do it today because I just thought of it now. So you're gonna get your JoJo meme. Don't worry, you're gonna get it.
Yeah. But man, this was a crazy episode. It's like when you have a Lion was literally like Floyd Mayweather, bro. It's like when you have somebody in the corner of the boxing ring and they're just throwing punches. Like he's just giving all these good points for Aaron and Bleach, and we're just like can't get out the corner, bro. But yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, if you
Hmm?
well, yeah. So I guess we'll just end it here. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. I'm the Anime Bro, the guy who made a sociopath seem okay.
Bro.
Then we got Tenza, the loser of this debate
Oh my god.
episode, and Lawton, the true winner that was given everything on a silver platter.
Yeah. Well, watch. We're gonna announce our debuts as lawyers at some point. It's like he was able. This guy right here was able to make a serial killer seem nice. So, so if you ever want, him as a lawyer, just hey, Anime Bro, can I call you up and he'll make a deal with you.
Yeah. And anyways, thank you for coming and see you guys later. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.